got a tough job trying to follow this man. So I'm trying to give my knowledge about what I know about, and I know about education and its historical context. So I wanted to explain that. Individual states are still at liberty to deny education to poor children without accountability from the country as a whole. Just as individuals, just like individual states before in the 1960s were denied voting rights before federal intervention. So let me just get into the educational part. I'll touch on voting rights in a second. But in the state of Maryland, there's a court case going on right now that Dr. Moses talked about. It's called the Bradford case. And I'm just going to give you a little brief history about that so that you know what I'm talking about so I can really get into the meat of this. In 1994, Keith Bradford and the ACLU sued the state of Maryland for not adequately educating students of Baltimore City. In 1996, the city and the state came together to form a consent decree, which basically is a payment plan in order to figure out how much more money students need in Baltimore City. However, the state didn't give us any more money than they did before. So in 2000, the city and Keith Bradford resued the state of Maryland for not appropriating this money, and Judge Kaplan, which was the judge in this whole entire case, and right now it's about 14 years into its existence, he ruled that students are owed between $200 and $260 million per year in addition to what they were already receiving. Still, they haven't paid anything. So in 2003, the Algebra project just began to get funding from the Baltimore City public school system, and our contract was for $200,000. You know, $200,000 went to $100,000, and $100,000 went to $80,000. So we're like, okay, well, you're supposed to give us $200,000, and now we only have $80,000. Why is that the case? So we found out that the city of Baltimore and the school system was in a $58 million deficit. I'm pretty sure that some of you heard about that in our strikes in conjunction, in response to that. Still, the state of Maryland has not appropriated the money that is owed. Now we're to the point where we're owed over $1.08 billion from the state of Maryland. $1.08 billion. He was just telling us how they were, how that company received, Poland Camp received $8 billion. We're asking for 1.08 that is owed to us. We shouldn't have to ask for this at all. So all that just to say is, they don't care about us, they don't want us to receive this money, and that just goes right along with the voting rights struggle in the 1960s. Now, the 14th and 15th Amendment gave blacks, whites, Latinos, everyone to right to full citizenship, voting, registration, and just things like that nature. Now, it took almost 100 years into the 1965 Voting Rights Act to make sure that these rights were instilled inside of America. And to this day, there's still thousands, if not millions, of black people that are not registered to vote. Why is that? It is institutionalized in this country that certain people do not have rights, and certain people are black people. So all that just to say, once again, that we need federal intervention in order to receive quality education as a constitutional right. Each state has in this constitution a guarantee to education. In Maryland, we are supposed to have a thorough and efficient education. I've been in the school system for 12 years, and I'm a product of Baltimore City Public Schools, and I have not received a thorough or efficient education in Baltimore City. So that just goes on to let you know that it's not designed for us to have that. So in order for us to have a quality education, we need the federal government to step in addition to the communities teaching one another, in order for us as a community to grow. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.